All right. Hi, Daniel. How's it going?
Hi. It's all right.
Um, so this will be our first session. It will be an intake session. We're just going through the biopsychosocial assessment. It will be kind of boring, but I will try to keep it short. And try to know uh more information of you, more backgrounds of you in a shorter time. So we try not to explore what what is the goal of you, what is the presenting problem and concerns of you, um, so that we can try not to build a rapport with each other from those conversations. And yeah, so before we begin, I just wanted to explain this is a comprehensive assessment. Just Our conversation will be confidential, meaning what we discuss is the stays between us. However, if there's any mention of harm to yourself, to others, or any situation involving child or elder abuse, I'm legally required to report that. If you ever have concerns about confidentiality, just feel free to ask. And also, some of those questions might be feel too personal. Just let me know if you feel overwhelming anytime. Just please know you only need to share what you feel comfortable with, and anytime you feel stressful or overwhelming, just let me know. We can pause or skip to a different topic. Does all make sense? Um? Do you have any questions for me right now?
Fine.
Okay. Um, so let's moving forward. I just want to explore what would be the concerns. So I read your profile and I see there are some conflicts with your parents and also some excessive worries about academic performance and future, and also social relationships. So um, I just want to dig deeper on those aspects. What will be some concerns that you have with your parents right now?
Well, like I gotta start like looking at colleges and stuff, and my parents aren't super happy with, how I've been doing in school. And like, I and like I told them that I was like not feeling super well like mentally, so they suggested that I come here, or like they told me to come here instead, because I don't think they really know what to do about that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So except like trying to having a mental health services to help you, is there um I think you have some um having experienced some psychological stress from your family, um and
Yeah. Yeah, I
it's
think.
based on the academic side. Like will be some like arguments or disagreements on that aspect.
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I mean, they're traditional Chinese parents. Like they want me to do really well in school. They want me to like, go to med school.
Hmm.
And like I'm not really interested in doing all that, but every time I try to tell them that, they just say I'm like being lazy or something like that.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like pointless, I feel like, to talk to them about how I feel, because they don't understand.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's just like I don't really feel like I can live up to their expectation.
Hmm.
But at the same time, like, I don't feel like they really care, about
Okay.
listening to me, or who I am either.
Okay. All right. Um, so I think um from this academic performance, you feel your parents didn't listen to you. It will be something we can explore deeper in the future, trying to figure out what will be some solution of that. But uh, I think the the fact that you're here, you express your mental health is not being well, and your parents suggest you to come here to have a support. I think it somehow expressed that your parents still listening to you, but it's just they are still care about you, but it's just about the academic performance. They are not so they are not trying not to care about you for every aspect. It's just sometimes like they don't listen to you, right? Is that what I hear?
Yeah, I think like, the way they are like we get into a lot of fights, so it's like at this point they're kind of like, we don't know how to help you, so just go talk to somebody else, it feels like. Which is fine because I feel like I don't really get anything from talking to them anyways.
Okay.
Um, but it's like it's hard to know. Like, yeah, they say that they like love me and they like, want what's best for me. But
Mm,
on the other hand, it's like very cold. It
mm,
feels like, like they only like love me if I'm like doing really well or like if I'm really struggling, and then they'll say that because then they feel like they need to, you know,
mm.
get me to a point where I can do really well again. It's like it's all focused on like how well I can do in school or whatever.
All right, I see that. Okay. Um, so um, besides this aspect about the relationship with your family or with your parents, you're also talking about worry about your future academic performance. So I think those worries are aligned with your parents, right? Like your parents are also worry about your academic performance. So, what will be something you worry about? Like, is that like different? Is that different to your parents, or is like the same as your parents says, like you're not performing well in academic? Um, is there any different worries that you have for your academic performance?
I mean, I don't really care about school. I think I'm more worried like they're gonna get mad at me if I
Mm-hmm.
don't do it well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think my grades are mostly okay. Like I have like mostly A's and B's, and then I think it's just like I don't really want to do school because I'm just like so tired all
Mm-hmm.
the time. I like want to sleep in class.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I wouldn't say like I'm too worried. I just want to graduate and be done,
Okay.
you know.
So most of the worries comes from your parents, like those stress and those high expectations and um like um like you are um like can I say that like you're feeling you're living in fear of your parents while you're like studying in the school? Is that like what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I think you could say that.
Okay.
Except,
Um,
dude, like, I think I was more scared of them when I was little, but now I'm like older, so
mm,
it's not as scary. It's more just like, oh, like, you know,
mm,
here we go again,
mhm.
that
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay. So, also you mentioned about the relationship. What will be some concerns you have for that aspect?
Like with my family.
You said in the profile have some worries about social relationships. Is that only about your families, or is there any social relationships you have in your daily lives?
Yeah, I think it's mostly with my family
Okay.
that I have problems with, and then I don't know. I just like don't really have the energy to like hang out with my friends,
Mm,
you
okay.
know.
Got it. Um, uh, okay. So besides all those presenting problems, I I'm I noticed that you mentioned there are several symptoms you have. Um, there's restlessness, difficulty concentrating, irritability, and muscle tension. Do you mind we go through one by one about those symptoms?
Yeah, sure.
So could you describe me more about the restlessness you have lately?
Yeah, it's like I'm like really tired during the day at school,
Mm-hmm.
and then I
Mm-hmm.
can't like sleep at night. So I feel like and it's like
Okay.
I always feel like anxious
Uh-huh.
about like school or like talking to my parents. Every time I talk to my parents, I feel like I'm anxious,
Mhm.
you know.
Okay. Okay. So the difficulty to get to sleep will be like what will be the reason behind that? Is that um like what will be the root cause for like you think for it's a hard time for you to get to the sleep?
I don't know. I think I just have a lot on my mind, like
Mhm.
at bedtime.
Okay. So like anxious or all those worries coming from your parents?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um And you mentioned about the difficulty concentrating. Is that all about um the performance in school, or is there anything else you have difficult to concentrate? Anytime in your life?
Yeah, I think I just like feel zoned out like all day. And then especially at school, it's like I don't really care what's going on in class. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Got it. Um, and could you describe me more what you think about the irritability in your daily lives?
Yeah, I just think like I get kind of annoyed whenever my parents like are trying to talk to me about like school. Like,
Mm,
it's like that's all they ask me about, so it's like annoying. Um
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. What about the muscle tension? What will be the um the time it happens and I think it's kind of like a physical symptoms like uh,
Yeah, I think it's like mostly around bedtime or like sometimes I'll get like headaches, I think, because like my neck is
mm,
like I like too like, you
okay.
know.
What will be the time it starts? Like the physical symptoms, like what will be the? I think you mentioned it persists for more than 6 months. Like, are those all starting from the past 6 months, or it can trace back to a longer time?
Yeah, it's just been going on for a while. I think I can't really remember how long it's been going for. I just think it's definitely more than six
Uh-huh.
months.
Okay. Does that happen daily, like every day, like those muscle tension, irritability, and difficulty on concentrating, all those like
Yeah,
happening every day?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, got it. Yes, I'm grateful that you're sharing all those symptoms and all those like the backgrounds and the root cause from those presenting problems and your concerns. Um, and let me see. Um, so. I just want to go back to the relationship with your family. When do you think your first start to feeling disengaged from school and home life? In like when would be the time you feel like that way?
Like what age or like
Yeah, like just what kind of
uh
time?
I mean, I think I started having problems with them like since I was a little like honestly since forever. Like when I was a little kid, when I started school,
Okay,
even like elementary school was like difficult with them.
all right. Okay, so it starting as soon as you're having some academic performance, then it's just like they're having like high expectations and all those stress coming to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, is there any like past strategies you have tried to improve your focus and engagement for um those coping skills you have? Is there anything you have tried before?
Uh, no, not that I can think of. Like I
Okay.
drink caffeine
Uh-huh.
to help, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so is there like what kind of thing that may things feel better or worse over time? Like, is there any, like you said about caffeine might helps you concentrate more easily or staying s- like um like in school you feel more concentrated. What will be something you feel like makes you feel better or worse in school or in at home? Though for those like relationship with your families or academic performance. Is there anything you can think of?
To be honest, no, not really. Like it all just
Okay.
kind of this is hard, yeah.
Okay. So that will be something we can explore in the future sessions, like trying to having some coping skills to help
Mhm.
you concentrate in school to have better um concentration. Even though those you think like in your mind those content is not like attracting you or you're not interested in those academic stuff, but we can still trying to look for some coping skills to help you concentrate, not just in school, but in daily lives, when you're talking to people or when you're playing some games. I think you have
Mhm.
some interesting playing games. So, yeah, so one more question, like, when you play some games, some like, or you're focusing on something that interested you, uh, do you find do you find yourself feeling difficult to concentrate it at that time?
No, no. Honestly, like when I'm playing like video games with my friends, like I can focus a lot better.
Okay,
But that's because it's like fun, you know, and like
okay,
yeah.
uh-huh, okay. So the only like the so like I'm hearing that there will be some like the reason behind the difficulty concentrating is all about the academic content will be like too boring to you, so that you feel difficult to concentrate, like feel distracted by other things happening at that time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so uh so let's I know you have like difficulty on your on the relationship with your families. But let me ask, like, who in your family do you feel more connected to? Um, like is there a person in your big family, or like there's only like father and your mother? Is there anyone else except your parents you feel most connected to?
At home it's mostly just my parents.
Okay,
I don't have any siblings or anything.
okay,
And I'd say like close to it'd be my mom, I guess, because she like
okay.
gets more upset about the homework and stuff. My dad
Mm.
is kind of just like, you know, whatever, doesn't really care.
Okay.
Um, but
So
you know,
you're saying like it's like your father is being away from the the role of like as he's like being a father, so you feel more connected to your mother just because
yeah,
you talk more. You guys talk more.
yeah, like she gets mad at me more. And I think my dad is
Uh,
always just like, oh, you know, if he's not gonna be good in school, you know, that's his like he's just
okay.
not gonna he's gonna be like poor, right? Or something like that. It's like what he says.
Okay. Um,
So yeah, it's like it's also very like aggressive in terms of, him wanting me to be successful, but he doesn't really put in the effort to like
okay,
talk to me about it.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, so about so what would be something that um like something you want to change about your family? Some like communicates or supports you. What would be something you want to see if there's any change in your family?
Um, I don't know, like they could just ask me how I'm feeling about stuff more often,
Mm,
or like actually, or like they do ask me, but it's always to like, if I say I'm feeling bad, they're probably like, oh, it's probably because you didn't sleep, or like probably because you didn't study or something. So they don't listen. It's like,
um,
yeah.
okay. So you just want to feel more listened in your family.
I think
Um,
so.
okay. And is there any recent change in your family that affected your emotion or affected you mentally? Is there any certain changes?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
so let me see. Okay, so basically, I just wanna explore, I think I explore all the presenting problems. I just wanna explore something that we might can utilize in the future sessions. So, do you feel that your cultural background influences how you experience school and home life? Do you feel ever feel like pressures or challenges with to your cultural and identity? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, I think definitely. Like, I think my parents being Chinese is why they are the way they are.
Okay.
I don't think like I have some white friends who like don't have the same feeling with their parents. So like their parents actually like ask them how they're feeling, or like,
Mm-hmm.
ask them about their sports that they do, or like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel like my parents are the same. And I think that's mostly because of the culture.
Okay. Um, is there any I know you're agnostic, but like being agnostic, does that impact your relationship with your family or peers?
No, not really. No.
Okay. Is there any personal values that help you guide you through those difficult times? Is there any beliefs you have in your mind that we can maybe utilize those things in the future sessions?
Mm, Not, I can't really think of any. No,
Okay.
not really.
All right. Um,
Yeah, none of my friends are very religious, or like some of my friends I think are religious, but I don't really understand or see
okay.
the
Is
benefit
there
me.
any so you said about academic performance. Is there any legal issues or school disciplinary issues that have impacted you?
No, not really. My teachers think I do okay in class. I
Okay.
think well sometimes they like, you could pay better attention, or like not sleep in class, but like I think grades wise, it's it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so I think we explore most of those. There's only like two, three questions I have. Um, do you have any, I think you mentioned, already mentioned about caffeine. Is there any other substance use you have, in the history or like present at present?
No.
Okay. Do you have any counseling before this session?
No, no, I don't think so.
Okay. So I think you have already take a big step to try to like be in this session. It's already a big improvement for you to just reach out to the mental health services. It's already a great improvement for you to reach out to me. Uh, I think a it's already a big win for you right now, like just being here.
Okay, cool.
Um,
Yeah.
and last thing will be something I want to know, just help us to explore more ways that or more interventions we can have in the future. So what kind of hobbies? I know you mentioned you're interested in playing games. Other than those, what hobbies or activities do you enjoy the most?
Uh, yeah, I think my friends and then like going to the gym with them sometimes.
Mm,
Um, but other than that, like sleeping, you know,
mm,
nothing crazy.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever lost interest in any hobbies or activities lately?
Yeah, I think like lately I don't really I think I might have mentioned earlier, but like, I don't really feel like I wanna play video games with my friends these days or like
Hmm.
because I feel like I should be doing homework or I should be, applying for schools and stuff. So it's just
Okay.
it is kind of hard to focus at that time
Okay.
on like having fun with them.
Hmm.
And like, yeah.
All right. So I think like we don't want to avoid um having fun playing games just because we have like too much pressure from the academic side. I think like uh having fun, having self-care in our lives is very important. So maybe we can just try to have some playing some games in our future sessions, just for your mental health well-being, not just for just playing for fun. Um, and is there any new interests or skills you would like to explore in the future?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically what I need to know for this session. Yeah, thank you for being here and thank you
Yeah.
for reaching out. I hope we can working out with your mental health issues in the future, in the future sessions. Yeah, thanks for being here.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Mm.
Let's
Uh,
see.
Nick is going pee.
Right. I was trying to
Do you have any reflection for me?
Yeah, I think well I was trying to be a lot more depressed than last time, I think.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I think it's going to be hard to
Mm,
if you're dealing with that.
yeah.
I think towards the end with a question, I forget which one. But like I think you had some good open-ended questions in there that
Mm,
like let me talk a little bit more. And
mm,
then I think if anything, you could keep your questions a little more simple, just
okay.
to like let them talk, right? Because if
Okay.
I think if you give them options, I did the same thing last time. I was like, if you give them
Uh,
options, then
mm,
they are like very easy to just give you like one or two
uh,
word
uh,
answers,
yeah.
versus
Yeah,
just like,
I was like trying to not giving options. Like I noticed that like giving options in the like first like
yeah,
first
I think you did
few
better too.
questions. Yeah.
Hmm.
Think that like, oh, Tammy told me that like you better just let them talk, not giving too much options and trying to let the clients talk through those issues by themselves. So I was like
Yeah. Yeah. I also was
trying
like,
to
I was
avoid.
trying to be like a 17-year-old boy, which is like,
Okay.
they don't talk.
Mm.
But I think, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough client to work with, I think.
Yeah.
But I think you did pretty well.
Sometimes like clients just don't talk, so I need to like give me some options so that they try to they
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna maybe you ask the first open-ended question and then like if they
Hmm.
don't talk, then it's like option time. I think that'd be cool.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
think like the way you
definitely.
go through the questions is good. And
Hmm.
then um yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sounds great.
Sweet. And then
Um,
I don't know. I think Nick said he's going to the bathroom. Oh, there he
yeah.
is.
I made
Uh,
it back.
You made it back. Welcome
Um,
back.
great. Okay.
Okay, sweet. Do we want to, Bruce? Do you need to go or leave early like last time or
I'm good with uh both options. Nick, do you
okay?
wanna?
Is it okay if I do you, Bruce, first so that
Mm,
I can get the practitioner part done with?
sure, I can
Okay.
do that.
Like,
Let me see.
Um, perfect.
Uh, I just have a question. Like the reflection I need to submit, is that the reflection for my client, or is that the reflections that I receive from my client?
Um, it's probably you reflecting on when you were the practitioner, how you could improve.
Okay.
I'll just double check that.
Once you finish, you should provide immediate
Um,
feedback to your clinician. Oh, I should have feedback for your clinician.
I think your reflective summary is just how you felt you did as a practitioner.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But yes, I would love feedback for now. I'm pretty burnt out, so this might not be like the best thing ever, but
Mhm.
uh we'll see how we do. I'm just gonna pull
Yeah.
up some stuff before we start.
hmm
We're gonna
Just let me know if you're ready.
Yeah, totally.
yeah, I'm feeling pretty beat up too this semester.
Yeah. I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, Bruce, you're like playing the person that I'm tired of talking to. So this will be really funny to watch. I'll be like,
I'll
oh
just
my
do that.
God, just get a grip. Um, all right. Let's see here. Just reading through your thing real quick to catch up.
Mhm.
All right. That should be pretty good. I'll just cut all
Mhm.
of that out of the recording.
Mhm.
Hi there. How's it going?
Hi. Pretty good. How's it going?
Good, good. My name is Nick. I am a social worker. Can I ask you your name?
My name is Alex.
Alex. How are you doing today, Alex?
Just fine. Just uh got home and having some talk with my parents. And yeah, just being here, feeling like um I don't know, just feeling like being here, don't want to be judged, but anything else will be fine because I've already tired of being judged by my parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
We'll take some time to talk about that. I want to take a moment right now just to
mm,
bring up kind of what to expect from these meetings.
okay.
Um, so one thing that I want to bring up is the idea of confidentiality. I want to let you know that
Mm,
anything that you say stays between us.
mm-hmm,
Um, the two exceptions are if you pose a danger to yourself or you
mm-hmm,
pose a danger to others.
mm-hmm,
In that case, I'm what's called a mandated reporter, which means I have to report that kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
Everything else is confidential that we talk about.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? Do you have any questions about that?
Mm, nope.
All right, great. Well, so now that we have that out of the way, um, this session, we're just going to take some time to talk about what's going on and what we can do to help, kind of what brought you in today. And we'll take some time talking about background and all of that. But I
Okay.
just wanted to kind of touch on those points before we got too deep into the conversation so that you have that in your back pocket. And if at any point you
Hmm.
have questions about that, you can just let me know. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Great. Yeah, so what kind of brought you in to see a therapist?
Um, it's just I'm feeling worried about being judged um by like in a public environment. Um, I have a lot of trust issues with strangers, with my people around me. Um, and also I'm feeling isolated and there's feeling of loneliness right now. It's just like nobody understands me. Um, and also I find myself um, mm, loss of those interest in those activities I previously enjoyed. And yeah, basically just like also like arguments with my parents. That's all those anxiety, depression just makes me here.
Hmm. Yeah, okay. So what I'm hearing is you've been feeling kind of down. Um, Things that used to be interesting aren't as interesting. Um, People in your life aren't feeling very supportive to you, maybe. Is that a good way of
Hmm.
putting it?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, what is your home situation like?
Mm, it's just my parents made me here because they think I'm not doing well. I'm not like being toxic to them as I act like before. Um, they think I have something holding in my mind, so they don't know about me pretty well as before. So I don't know. Um, because like all the things we talk here is confidential, right? So um, I'm not sure like what will be the intention of my parents try like makes me here. There's no way that they know what I talk here. So I don't know. It's mm, maybe just let me trying to have a place to vent out all those anxiety, depressions. But like the only reason I'm here is like my parents makes me be here, so I'm here.
I see. So your parents told you to come, is that correct? Or did you want to do this on your own?
Um, I think mostly it's just like my parents told me here.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. But it sounds
Mm.
like your parents aren't really providing the support that you would like them to provide. Is that at least emotionally?
Yeah, like they always like just judge me because of my uh like any performance that is not reaching their expectation, they just like told me to. Um,
I see.
so yeah,
You're feeling a lot of pressure then
yeah,
from your
yeah,
parents. Uh,
yeah, definitely.
and so does that kind of make you feel um like yeah, like there's not as much emotional support coming from your parents because they have high
Mm,
expectations.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, do you have Do you have like enough food to eat all of that? Just going down to the basics here, like, um, do you feel like,
Yeah, it's just like and based on their emotions, like if if today my performance is reaching their expectation, they cook me good meals. If not, then it's gonna be some junk junk food or fast food. So
gotcha. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so sometimes it's good food, sometimes it's not as good food.
It's
But
just based on their time, their emotions. There's no consistency in in my family. There's no consistency in my life.
okay. Okay, I
Mhm.
see. I see. Um, do you just again with the basics, do you
Mhm.
feel like you can get to school adequately? Like there's transportation to school. How do you get to school? That's a better question.
I take school bus. It's basically the time um having a a time that I've been like just like blackout. Like I'm just like dreaming in my mind on the way to school.
I
I was
see. Okay.
trying to escape this environment,
Mm,
but like when I got school, just everything just going back to the normal.
I see. Yeah. So yeah, that kind of leads me into school. How's school going for you?
Mm, I think it's just like having um my grades are normal. It's just like a medium grade. So I don't feel much attention from my teachers. And I don't feel many interactions with my classmates. Um yeah, it's just I don't find myself really happy in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it sounds like you're not making the relationships that you want to be making, maybe between your peers.
Mm, yeah, but there's one of uh my classmate he's like trying to help me, offering a lot of helps, but I just don't trust him. So um sometimes I accept those, sometimes I just like I don't want to have your help in that way. So
I see.
yeah.
And how repeat, how is he helping? Um,
It's just like giving some um offer for notes in the class, homework, also trying to be um next to me while we eating the lunch. But I just like trying to escape, trying to finish the lunch as fast as I can, so that I don't need to talk too much with him.
mhm. I see, I see.
Mhm.
So he's also not much of a support to you.
Um, kind of, but not too much because always avoid.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, what what stops you from talking to people in class?
It's just like I'm feeling judged by my parents. All in all aspects, like academic performance, performance in the house, uh, and I feel like people around me will also judge me like that. So. instead of like standouts, I just being judged. I just wanna be myself, like being alone, so that no one's gonna judge me. Trying to hide myself in the corner, trying to be transparent in the class, so that I don't need to be judged. Um, yeah, basically that's it.
Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot of sense to me. So then let's take some time and talk about what you like to do. I
Hmm.
know you mentioned earlier that you're having kind of less pleasure in doing things that you normally find enjoyable.
Hmm.
On a day, on a normal day, what would you find enjoyable to do? How do you spend your free time?
I like drawing, like doing coloring, all those stuff. I have my paintings in my it used to be on the back of this wall, trying to hang all those paintings in my room, but recently I just my parents judge a lot all those paintings, so I just like took them off and place it in my um a file holder. So um yeah, basically drawing will be something I like because it's I can draw by myself on my own. No
Mhm.
one's gonna interfere me during the during the drawing, and I can draw what I want, whatever I want, and dream while like drawing. I can also dream the life I want. So yeah, doing some daydream.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Um, yeah, so it sounds like okay, so art and drawing are a big part of your life. And it also sounds like you kind of take refuge when you can daydream. It sounds like daydreaming is a comfortable uh
Mm,
place to be. Um, have you just a thought that I had, and you can let me know if this doesn't sound right to you, but
mhm,
um, have you thought of maybe joining some sort of art club or uh, kind of drawing group, or even just making friends who also like to draw at school? What are your thoughts on that?
mm, I think I thought about that, but it's just like feeling putting myself in that kind of environment. I'm still gonna be like trying to be transparent in that group, so I don't wanna talk to anyone because I don't wanna be judged by people talking about my paintings, trying to ask me what I draw. I just wanna like it's my own personal space for drawing, so I just wanna be alone, trying to continue dreaming and drawing at the same time.
I see. Yeah, so that alone time is really important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This is a really good start. I appreciate you opening up and explaining to me those things.
Mm,
I want to transition a little bit and talk about just some basic housekeeping items. Just some regular questions that people ask at the beginning of sessions.
mhm.
Um, One thing I want to take some time and talk about is are you currently taking any medications? Um,
Not really.
no, not really. Does that
Not
mean
really.
no? Or
No, no,
okay.
mm,
Um, are you using any substances like alcohol, tobacco, any of that?
no.
Okay. Um, do you have a family history of substance use? Alcohol, drugs, any of that?
Um, my father drink a lot of alcohol,
Okay.
uh, but it's in the history. I think like my mother told me, my father go to AA and he has already deal with that problem. So it's just like a historical problem.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, so your father drinks alcohol and attends AA meetings.
Hmm. And it, he already like got that solved.
So he is sober now.
Yeah, he's sober now.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, Perfect. Um, do you have any other medical complications in your family history?
Mm, not really. Mm, I think my mother has some depression in the past, but I just know there's a general depression, but I know not much about that.
Gotcha. Okay. What are some support systems in your life right now, in people? Do you have people that you can go to for
Mm,
support?
I mean, if like things really goes bad, like my parents gonna support me, but it's just based on the severity of of the issues. But in daily lives, I think if something happened that I cannot tell my parents, I will go for the classmate that offers help uh to me a lot.
I see.
Um,
Can I ask
yeah,
what that
it's
person's name is, that classmate?
um Don.
Don. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, have you considered, I know we spent a little bit of time talking about Don earlier.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, have you considered hanging out with him outside of school or how that would look?
It's just like we don't live closely, so it's just having a hard time to like he invited me to to have some activities out of school, but it's just like I don't think it's practical to do that because we live like he lives in south, I live in north, so it's just like too far away from from me. So and I don't think my parents would like to drive me to their places. So yeah, there's no chance for me
Hmm.
to have activities out of the school.
Gotcha. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, do you currently what are some coping mechanisms that you use right now uh when you feel uncomfortable maybe with the social pressure?
Mm, just being alone. Um, and used to I used to just draw whatever I face from the pressure. What I thought, just draw them down and trying to vent out through drawing. But right now it's something like whatever I draw got judged, so I don't feel like drawing them down. I just wanna trying to find another way so I still can vent out, but I don't. And I would like to vent out those in like certain way that I can see them, like 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 drawing. I draw them down and I see how I feel those pressure vent out, so I can actually see them are being vent out. But I try to uh, find a place that there's nobody around me and I can shout out aloud. But it's just like I know it's venting out, but there's nothing in record. Like drawing, I can like trace back. So I'm just still exploring something I can do if I'm in like a stressful situation.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Um, I think we're running well, okay, so let's wrap things up here.
Mm,
I would definitely have questions to ask in our next session if that's something you'd like to do. If you don't mind me
mhm,
asking, would
mhm.
you like to come back for more sessions in the future?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Mhm,
Yeah, great. So next session we'll probably try and continue those just kind of like exploring the problem and maybe some ways of coping and
mhm,
how to feel more comfortable in your classroom and home setting, perhaps.
mhm, mhm.
Um,
Okay.
I wanna take some time and talk about our the big takeaways from uh, this meeting.
Mhm,
So we talked about just the presenting problem, which is and correct me if
mhm,
I'm wrong here, it sounds like you're feeling some social anxiety and some symptoms of depression as well
mhm,
in school and home setting.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and and so we talked about how you cope and what you do. So you like being alone and you like drawing. Um, and we talked about some support systems you have in your life, and some family history stuff.
Mhm.
And so yeah, next session we can kind of pick up where we left off and keep talking about those points
Okay.
and what we can do in the future.
Okay. Sounds great.
All right, thanks so much
Thank you.
and scene.
All right. Oh, I think Richard is also going to bathroom.
What'd you say?
I think Richard is also going to the bathroom.
Ah, that's funny. Um, do you have any notable feedback?
Mm, I think you certainly did better than last time. Um, I think your questions are um pretty comfortable to answer and to give more like open-ended questions so that I can describe more of myself. And I think the environment is safe and comfortable for me to share. Um, and let me see. And I think like you're trying to giving some leads for me to if like I'm acting to being resistant to response, you're trying to lead me to um answer the questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think like at the last at the end of the session, um like that's what I being told from my supervisor in my field placement. Uh like in the first session, like the initial session, we do biopsychosocial assessment. It's just like the exploring the concerns, the presenting problems. And what I've been told is like we don't dig like dive right in all those histories, all those things in the first 2 or 3 sessions. We're trying to build report with the clients. So like trying to explore something that clients enjoy. So like if in my case, I will be saying like we can try to because like the ultimate goal for Alex will be some like having trust with people, having more social relationship with people. So I will say like having a like you already I think you did a great job like bringing up the group drawing option. But I will say like if we start in therapy like drawing with you as like a simulation of drawing group in the first 2 sessions, and then we try to build self-confidence, trying to build a relationship with client, and then like offering those options to the clients will be something that I would say like the clients would be interested in, and it will be helpful for them to reaching their ultimate goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
like all that feedback. I think
yeah.
just as a self-reflection, I probably also would have been less direct with w- what I felt
Hmm.
like the presenting problem with. Like I told you that you have symptoms of depression. I
Hmm.
probably wouldn't say that in real life.
Uh,
I just couldn't think of anything to say in that moment.
mm, hmm.
But
Um,
yeah, all right. I feel good about
yeah,
that.
yeah. Um, all right. I will just leave the space for you guys for the last simulation.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
Bruce.
you. See you guys.
Later.
See ya.
All
All
right.
right. Ready? Give
Therapize
me,
me.
I'll give you a second to catch your breath.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh man. All right, I'm pulling up your guy.
yeah.
The same. This is like the same description as last time, right?
Yeah, it should be the same.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, similar stuff. I just, I'm actually gonna look at him real quick too to
I
make
kind
sure.
of cheated on this, bro. I had a client I just started with last week that is like very similar.
Oh
So I already
yeah.
got some practice on these intake questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, where did I leave that stupid thing? Sorry, I
And is
need
everything due tonight?
um
The way I canvas
it's
was
very
weird.
possible that it's due tonight.
All right, I know whatever. I got time.
Yeah, that's close. That's close to now.
All right.
I like literally forgot my name. Okay, I'm Sam and um okay, okay. Sorry. I know I'm like being annoying right now. Just
No, good man.
I need to like figure out how to act the other diagnosis.
Oh, yeah.
Um okay, I'm there.
All right. You ready? Let me stop yawning, Jesus. It was like I honestly playing to my advantage for my last character, but
Hmm.
I'll be awake for this one.
Yeah, now you have to be a
Yep.
person. That's why I
Yes.
wanted to get the doing out of the way, so now I can just like, oh,
Be tired and realistic.
yeah,
All right.
exactly.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. All right. Hello there.
Hi,
Hi.
how's it
Sam
going?
or Samuel?
Sam works. What's your
Sam
name?
works. My name is Richard. Nice to meet you. I'm a social worker who works with the University of Michigan here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, thanks for coming in today.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
So what brings you here?
My dad told me to come here. I, look, I kind of hate my dad, but I have to do what he says. So I'm here, and that's just kind of how that's gonna go.
Okay. Gotcha. And I'm sure we can get into that in a little bit, but before we start, have you ever been to like therapy or counseling or anything like this before?
Nope.
Okay.
And there's a
Yeah, so
reason
I'll
for
give you a
that.
quick, what was that?
Like, I'm like fine, so I don't really know why I have to do whatever. It's fine. I'm
Mm,
here, and
okay, I
now
got you.
it's okay. It is what it is.
I got you. Okay, well, so let me just give you a quick rundown of like kind of what to expect out of today. So today is going to be an intake appointment or assessment, and I'm basically just trying to get to know you a little bit. I'm gonna give you a quick description of everything you say to me today, and any of our future meetings is going to be strictly between us two, with a couple exceptions. Okay, so if you mention to me that you are planning to, harm yourself, harm somebody else, then that's something I might have to escalate up to my supervisor or to like, law enforcement. And the other one is if you reveal to me that there might be possible neglect or abuse of a child or an elderly person, that's something else I might have to bring up to like a higher level. But other than that, everything else you share with me is going to be strictly confidential. Is
All
that kind of
right.
clear?
Yep. Sounds
Sweet.
good.
All right. So you're here because your dad told you to. What was the reason why he made you come?
Well, I lost my job recently,
Okay.
and um, okay, so here's what happened is I had a little bit too much to drink the night before, and I wasn't drunk the next day because that's like I don't drink that much. But I smelled like alcohol, and then my boss fired me. And I was like, all right, well that's friggin' unfair. Um
Mm,
but yeah, so then I went home and I was like, hey, I lost my job. And my dad was like, why? And I was like, well, I smelled like alcohol. And then he kind of flipped out on me, and then now I'm here.
gotcha. And is this like the first time that your boss has kind of been like, upset with you for smelling like alcohol, or is this kind of like a one-off thing? He was just
I mean, I'm trying to think of when it happened before. I don't think it happened before. Maybe I smelled like alcohol and he didn't know. Um, I mean, I tend to like, I like my job. I don't want to be like a stupid whatever. Like, I don't want to smell like alcohol. I try and take the time to not, but I guess I don't know. Maybe I don't really know what
and
happened.
gotcha. And what was your job?
I worked at a tea shop selling tea to
Okay. Like packaged tea or like a kind of like a coffee shop, tea shop
we
where
sell
people
both.
drink tea.
I mean,
Okay.
sold both. Yeah, we had both.
Okay.
Um, he,
Gotcha. And how long were you at that job for?
a while. Uh,
Okay.
I, I, sorry, I'm just organizing my thoughts here.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
good.
probably had that job for a couple years actually. I mean, I got it when I left uh school and kept it.
Okay. And where'd you go to school for how long?
Um, I went to school at a community college and I just stopped going. It was so boring.
Ah, gotcha. And how long were you going there for?
Probably a couple years. maybe
Okay.
3 years. Maybe I got, yeah, probably like, it was a while. I remember it being like just dragging along, like, God,
Hmm.
I just want to be done with this. Probably like,
Gotcha. 3 years.
yeah.
Okay. So, but you weren't able to like finish your degree there.
No, I don't have a
Okay.
degree. No, that's why I work at the
Gotcha.
tea. I've eventually I was like, well, I like the tea shop, so I may as well work there, and I don't need a degree to work there. But now I
Mhm.
don't even have that job, so I'm like, well,
Sure.
shoot. All right.
Yeah. Are you looking for other jobs right now, or you kind of just wait, like feeling things out?
I'm just like kind of taking it easy right now. I just don't want to have to deal with this again. Um, like I don't want my next boss to be like, you smell like alcohol, so I'm firing you. So I'm like, okay, well, why bother getting a job at this point? Like just
Oh, 'cause you don't want to have to run into something like this again, at least not for a
yeah,
while.
exactly. I'm just like tired of like I just don't want to have to go through this again, and so I'm like really I just don't want to have a job now as a result.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. That's like a pretty tough experience to go through, especially with your dad, you know,
Yeah, I mean, like
looking
I
out on you.
wanted to get off my ass, and I liked the job at the tea place, so I don't want to get like close to. I don't want to become attached to a job and then lose it again because like
Mm,
I'm living my life and no one wants me to live my life. So I'm like,
okay.
I may as well just stop working.
Gotcha. And then where are you living right now? Are you with your dad?
Yeah, I live with my mom and dad. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Uh, I just live in the basement.
Okay. Um, and then I'm going to pivot a little bit to kind of go into, how's your like physical health been lately? You've been feeling okay, like physically?
Yeah, no, I mean it's fine. I mean, look, I'll be honest, some mornings I wake up and I'm like, whoa. And like every muscle in my body hurts. But
Okay.
other than that, like yeah, I'm fine. I run, um,
Mhm.
not fast or far, but I
Just
jog.
kind of for leisure.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then when you say, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, no,
When you say you wake up sometimes and you're like, whoa, every muscle in your body hurts, what causes that?
yeah. Well, bro, I am hung over. That's what causes that.
Ah, gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm not gonna say that that happens rarely.
Okay.
Um, yeah, no, I mean it's pretty common occurrence. I wake up many mornings and I'm like, oh, I want to vomit. My guts,
Gotcha. And
yeah. So that, yeah, that does happen. I get
in
a
like a
headache.
in like a 7 day period, how many days out of seven do you think?
Uh, Definitely four, probably five, maybe six.
Okay. Okay. And then are you like at home drinking or are you like going out with friends or like
It's a
partying?
mix of both. I get the basement to myself, so I kind of just drink down there.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I was buying alcohol with my paycheck, but now I don't have that, so kind of I've been using other means. I kind of just been taking alcohol out of my parents' cabinet in like small bits. Um, or I'll steal it from a friend. Um, or we'll just go out to drink and then, when it's time to pay the bill. I've gotten into this habit, like I'm just like I'm running out of money, and so I'll like drink and I'll leave the tab open, kinda. Um, but I'll I'll either use my friend's card without telling them. Like they leave it on the table and I'm like, here, take this card to pay.
Okay.
Or sometimes we go to this bar where they don't swipe the card right away. They like wait until you want to close up to swipe the card.
Mhm.
And so I just kind of like dine and dash, like I just take a few drinks and then leave before I can swipe the card. And it's a pretty busy bar, so no one really knows it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure it made someone mad, but they don't like connect. They don't put a name to the face. I wear a hat and I like, kind of cover my face. Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I want to get drunk. I don't have money. That's my solution.
Okay.
So,
And have you ever been like, caught by friends or these places that you go to because of
so
this?
far, so far not.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't been doing it very long, but I've been trying to not spend money on drinks, and that's yeah. I'm pretty concerned that one of my friends is gonna find out and then murder me. I mean, not literally, but you get what I'm saying.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
I mean, yeah, like I wanna. I mean, I look. I just want to get drunk more than I care about the friendship. Is the honest truth. But I'm
Okay.
also pretty anxious that they'll find out.
Okay. So you're feeling a little anxious that these are close friends?
Um, I don't know. I mean, they came for tea one time, and it's kind of turned into a friend group. Um,
Uh,
and like I'm the only one of us that worked at that tea shop. They just like came in for tea a lot, and then I started hanging out with them. It's kind of how that. So like they're not that close, but I've been hanging out with them for like a year now.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, aside from these friends, are these the friends that you normally go out drinking with, or do you have other friends that you hang out with?
Oh no, it's just one group. We go out a lot. I mean, it's like six guys. So it's
Okay.
not all of us every time, but it's usually yeah. It's I either drink alone or with them pretty much.
Okay. All right. And then per like every time you drink, how many drinks do you normally have before you like stop or go to bed?
A good amount.
Okay.
Good amount. I mean at this point, uh see, it's the same amount of days that I drink. Definitely four, probably five, maybe six. On like a
Okay.
Saturday, oh my God, it could go up to 10. Uh,
Okay.
I don't really, like most of the time, I don't really keep track. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like whatever gets me drunk as fast as possible. Um,
Okay. So you don't really have like a drink of choice either.
no, it's just, I mean, especially now when I'm not even paying for it, it's just kind of whatever. Sometimes I'll like take someone else's drink, like they make the drink, but the person whose drink it is looking the other way, and I'm like, well, shit, that's mine now.
Mhm.
Whatever it is, gets me drunk.
I gotcha. Gotcha. And then do you do any other like substances?
Um, all right. Yeah, I would say many Saturdays now. I don't like to admit this, but it's kind of this is what it is now.
Hmm.
Um, I do cocaine on the weekends
Hmm.
with uh with one of the guys that I met that we drink with. So it's kind of a every Saturday thing. Um, and it's always powder cocaine. We always
Okay.
smoke.
And
He
is he usually providing that?
Yeah, he provides it. I don't know where he gets it from. I just use it.
Okay. What about like marijuana or anything like that?
Yeah, no, I definitely smoke weed. I think I like drinking more. Just I like the feeling of it. If I'm high, like I don't really like being at home, and it just stresses me the fuck out. And if I'm high at home, I'm still kind of aware of how much I hate being home. But there's something about being drunk where I'm like, okay, well, now I'm just a stupid idiot and I don't really know anything about what's going on. And that's just a kind of a nicer place to be. So
Okay.
yeah, I do smoke weed, but I prefer alcohol.
Okay. Gotcha. And then, well, first I want to say this, Sam, like, you shared a lot just like within the first couple minutes of this session, and I appreciate you because I appreciate you opening up and sharing these things with me because I know it can be hard to talk about. Um, you know, if we end up talking about something that you don't feel comfortable talking about or you want to like kind of take a breather, you just let me know, okay?
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is heavy stuff for sure. I
Hmm.
I haven't really had a chance to actually talk about it, so
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I want this to be a safe, like I said, like everything you tell me is going to be between us, besides those exceptions of like harm. But this is, I want this space to be your space to kind of like process things and offload some things if needed, you
yeah,
know.
no, I appreciate that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, there's a lot on
Yeah.
my mind for sure.
Hmm. And then so kind of back on topic. So besides, marijuana, cocaine on Saturdays, and then the alcohol consumption, there are no other substances that you've been using regularly.
Uh, no, no, it's really just those three. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I actually don't drink coffee for what it's worth. So yeah,
Mm.
those
Oh,
three.
while you're working at the coffee shop
The well, it's a tea shop, but
or tea shop,
we
sorry.
have coffee. We have coffee too, but no, I don't drink it. I just like. I mean, it's gonna sound awful. Why have caffeine when you can have cocaine? It's kind of
Mm.
that's where that's at.
Gotcha. All right, and then you mentioned like being at home makes you anxious.
Um, yeah, I mean, God, my parents just are on my ass all the time. Like, like we had a conversation at the dinner table the other night about investing. It's like
Mm.
that I have like $1,000 and that's all for drinks. Like you think I'm gonna go invest it for my retirement? Like I'm not gonna retire. I'm just gonna get fired. Like there's no, I was just like, gosh, they just don't understand what it's like to be like a young adult right now. Like it's just awful, you know? Like the world is not set up for people like me and they just don't understand. And so yeah, I mean, I get into a lot of fights with my dad and every time I see him my heart rate goes up and um just like I yell at them a lot. I know I shouldn't, but I just like, I mean, I just can't take it half the time. They
What's
make me
your what's your mom like? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
uh,
interrupt.
no, no, yeah, I mean, I mean, my mom and I sometimes talk about stuff that's worth noting. I mean, we kind of like the same TV shows, so we sit down and watch TV at the same time, which is kind of nice, but um I don't know. She hasn't been a big support and my dad is a not a support and my mom doesn't help kind of buffer. Like I'd want my mom to be there for me in that situation, and she's really not. She's just kind of standing there watching. Like, geez,
Uh,
and do something about that. Yeah, I mean, God, I really don't like being at my house. I try and be at my house as rarely as possible. That's why I go out all the time. Because I'm like, I hate it here. And now I don't have a job, so I'm like, some of these days I spend all day at the bar, and I have to be careful. I can't spend all day at one bar. I have to like go to multiple bars because I've been doing this stupid like stealing drinks stuff. And so I can't stay there all day because they're gonna find out that it's me that's, like when you're the only person at the bar, you can't really mask that you're stealing a bunch of drinks. Like they just know.
yeah.
So
Yeah, that's definitely tough to kind of be like on the run from your own family, your own house.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
Hmm.
geez. And I just like,
Gotcha.
well, I the lifestyle that I'm living right now is so anxiety inducing too. I'm like, geez, I just want everything to be okay, and it's not.
Mm.
That's what,
Has
yeah.
your really
When I feel that
oh,
way,
go
I
ahead.
get drunk. That's how that
Mm.
happens.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like a respite. It's like a place you could go or a state of mind you can go to kind of escape
Yeah,
that
yeah,
feeling.
exactly, precisely.
Gotcha. How long has your relationship with your dad been like this? Like, has it been like your whole life pretty much?
I think since I left college, I think he was really set on me getting a degree, and I was like, it's just
Mm.
not what I want to do. I want to make,
Gotcha.
and I really liked that job. I liked making tea. Like we made the tea. We didn't just sell the bags. We like just seeped it, and there's something really meditative about just like putting herbs in a hot water and watching it like turn into tea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Have you told your dad that you like really like that job, that you really are interested in something like, brewing
Uh,
something or
yeah, I mean, I've tried to tell him a little bit, but he's just like has not been very receptive to that. I think he wants me to get like a big boy job, like a with a degree. He probably wants me to go to college right now. I mean, he knows that I drink. Like I come home smelling like alcohol many nights, and I'm sure
yeah.
that it drives him nuts. Um, so
Mm. Yeah, and so what do your parents do for work?
my dad's a lawyer and my mom is a professor.
Okay. Okay. So pretty prestigious jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, my mom really likes learning and my dad stresses himself out with all his lawyer stuff, but
Hmm.
he's
And what is oh, go ahead.
no, no, just
He's
finish it.
stressed out all the time, usually pretty occupied with work.
Yeah, very occupied. And he
Okay.
like wants me to be that stressed too.
Okay. And then have your parents, do you have a family of like, alcoholism or substance use
My
and
dad used to
abuse?
drink. He's like 10 years sober now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
Uh,
about your mom?
my mom, my mom actually does have a drink or two, especially when my dad is out of town because she just doesn't like to do it when he's around. But yeah, she still drinks and not with abuse, just
Just drink recreational.
yeah, just regular,
Okay.
like
And then,
maybe a drink every couple days or something.
gotcha. Do you have any other siblings or anything? Anyone else in your family?
No, I'm an only child.
Okay. And then what are your parents like mental health things like? You know,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, they're not very open about talking about it. My mom is relatively introverted. Uh,
okay.
there's probably something going on in there, some mental health thing, but
Hmm.
she doesn't have anything diagnosed or anything like that. Um, my dad, I mean, obviously my dad's like 10 years sober, but other than
Hmm.
that, my dad like prides himself on having nothing wrong with him. You know,
Okay.
he'll be like, like if he breaks his foot or something, he'll be like, "No, it'll heal on its own." I'm like, "Dad, no, it won't. Like you have to go get that fixed." I'll be like, "No, it'll heal." Like, all right,
Does
whatever.
it heal?
Well, that's a hypothetical, but I
Oh,
mean, uh, sometimes it's fine, but I mean, surely something's wrong, like
yeah.
he drank for years uncontrollably. So like that to me,
Mm.
but what
Was
can
that like were you like were you able to ever witness that? Like were you part of his life when he did that or?
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, I remember I was in eighth grade when his first sober day. I mean, he tried a couple times to get sober and relapsed. Um,
Mm.
so like when I was 10, he uh relapsed, and when I was 12, he relapsed again. When I was 14, it stuck. So I don't know what happened
Okay.
there. Yeah. It was rough. It was rough growing. He's like a very angry drunk, so yeah, I did not enjoy that. I don't know how, like, I'm kind of
Has
half
he
the time when he's like mad these days, I'm like, you don't have the right to be mad. You were an idiot 10 years ago, like I kind of have that feeling of like, God, shut up. But I mean, I'm sure he doesn't like that I drink now, like there's a part of me that's like, oh, he sees what it did to him and now I'm doing that and whatever.
so you're seeing like maybe he could be doing it out of like a good place, but the execution is not there.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'm sure he just wants what's best for me or whatever, but oh my God, yeah, the way, like you said, the execution, horrible. Like
Gotcha.
if he wants his son to have a more productive life, he needs to do a little better.
Mm. what was the reason why he tried to get sober then? Like, what do you remember what kind of the driving force behind him getting sober was? Was it like his job or something?
Good question. I think I don't know exactly what happened. I think maybe my mom presented him an ultimatum of like, if you don't get sober, I'm gonna leave.
Okay.
And I think that really cleaned him up. I think that's like a theory that I have because my mom was pretty unhappy around then. Um and
Okay.
and like she's introverted, but she was still vocal about it. She was like, "What are you doing? You know, like we have a family, that kind of stuff." So
Mm. So
yeah.
they might have fought in front of you.
They fought a lot when I was growing up. They're not so bad now. They're kind of quiet now, but they did have some arguments,
Gotcha.
especially
Uh,
when he was drunk.
yeah. Yeah, that sounds pretty tough to deal with and grow up in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah. Has your dad gotten better with your mom at least since he's gotten sober?
Yeah, no, I mean I think they look like they have a happy marriage.
Okay, that's good.
They don't do a ton together, but they're comfy. I don't hear them arguing very often,
Mm,
and I do see them smile at each other once in a while, so
okay.
I think it's okay, but um
Mm,
I don't know. They're the only people that really understand that relationship.
gotcha. Um, okay. So that's a good gives me a good picture of kind of like, your background, your mental health, physical health background. Any other like physical things that kind of run in your family, like heart disease or like anything like that?
Yeah, we I mean nothing big medically. I know that we have high blood pressure
Mm,
genetically, just it's a little high.
okay.
Um and so that leads to heart disease, but usually we're pretty healthy overall, so it doesn't actually lead to heart disease.
Okay.
Um
Okay.
yeah, nothing nuts. I mean, I would imagine that this like alcohol stuff runs in the family for sure, because that's like a
Mm,
brain thing, right? So, I mean,
mhm.
like I'm sure it's genetic. Um, and I mean, I watched him drink my whole childhood, so I was like, all right, well, that is exactly what I want to do now that I'm an adult.
Mm, okay. Gotcha. And then kind of the last like set of questions I have or things I'm gonna ask you is like, do you do anything spiritually? Like does your family go to church? Do you read the Bible? Anything like
Um,
that?
no, 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 no. I mean, we grew up Christian. My dad's mom is religious. And so we grew up kind of like not church every Sunday, but church like probably 10 to 15 times a year or something like that.
Okay, for like holidays, things like that.
Yeah, exactly, that kind of stuff. Um,
Okay.
but
But
now, yeah, we're not really. It's pretty loose now. We don't even really talk about it as a family. It's just kind of like a thing.
and are your parents still religious? They just don't really practice.
No one in the house really openly practices. I think my mom still goes for some holidays, but my dad doesn't go anymore. Uh,
Okay.
I don't go.
Okay.
We just kind of stopped going.
Mm, okay. And then for you personally, like, outside of religion, do you have any kind of, are you like a spiritual person? Do you enjoy spending time in nature? Anything to that degree?
I do like nature. I do like
Okay.
nature. I think when I'm drunk and high, there's this feeling of this glorious, like I'm not in my body anymore. You know
Mm,
what I'm talking about? Just like you're not. Like I just get so sometimes I get really fed up with being a human on Earth. Like my life is not that good, and I'm like, God, just ugh. And so like when I get drunk and I get high, I'm like, okay, this feels a little better. Now I can kind of transcend my own life. Like in that sense, I can feel the spirituality of like I don't feel like me right now just for this one little, like I can just that's like ironically one of the only times I can feel like I'm living in the present moment.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And that's under the influence of like alcohol or like
Yeah.
cocaine or weed. Okay.
Alcohol and weed, cocaine, it just kind of like here's when I would take cocaine is when I like not when I needed to focus on something, but when I need to get something done. Like
Okay.
that's really it just gives me this like oh yeah, I can do anything feeling, you
Yeah.
know?
Like a
And so
feeling of like invincibility. Yeah.
yeah, it feels less like a transcending thing. It just makes me feel like Iron Man for a second. Like that's
Okay.
when I get this
Yeah.
thing where I want to punch walls. I get that big
Okay.
time on cocaine. So I try and let that wear off before I go home because I know that I would just punch my dad square in the face.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
standing up to you now. Poof.
Yeah. I would say that sounds like a wise decision. But again, I can imagine it's difficult to kind of just like have to manage all that and like not feel like you can go home. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes I feel really powerless. Just like I can't do
Mm.
anything to control my life. And cocaine kind of makes me feel more powerful, I guess. So
Okay.
that's why it doesn't help me escape, but it helps me like kind of push through life, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you maybe have some control over something.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I think I got like a pretty good, rundown of, your profile and like what you're dealing with, what you got on your plate, and it sounds like a lot. But I kind of want to ask you, like, I know your dad's making you come here, and like, I appreciate you coming here and telling me all these things, but kind of like, what do you want to get out of, talking with me, out of our time together? If you got to be here, I want you to get something that you want out of it.
Yeah.
You
Well, no,
know?
I mean, now that I'm here, I do think that this is a good thing for me to do because obviously my life is pretty screwy somehow.
Mm,
Like, I don't have a job right now. I drink a lot. Like, I know I drink more than I should, but I just really don't want to stop, you know? Uh,
yeah.
like, I know I think that this is good. I appreciate being here, and I think that it's worth continuing to do and probably just exploring like
Mhm.
why I do the things that I do and why I am the way that I am.
So
Uh,
seeking some understanding of like behaviors and your emotions,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
and then maybe being able to maybe like regulate them or try to control them.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. And then maybe like I wonder if if we continue to talk to each other and like see each other, I wonder if we can maybe like consider bringing your dad into some of these conversations and I can act as like a mediator. Because I think relationships are a two-way street, and like from what you're telling me, like I think you're very aware. I think you're a very like bright dude who's like aware that these things are like going down a path that maybe you don't want to go down. And so I think like, but at the same time, it's fully justifiable as like the contentious relationship you have with your dad is like, yeah, like what else could you do? I
yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I like that idea. I mean, I don't know if he'll like that idea. I mean, maybe since he told me to come here, I can be like, well, and the therapist said that you should come here. So, like, there you
yeah,
go.
definitely.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I'll run it by him. I'm sure he won't love that idea, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I think, look, that is going to be one uncomfortable meeting if we ever do that. Just gonna
Well, I,
put you in
yeah,
advance.
yeah, I'll say like, I think it might be a better idea to get a couple one-on-one sessions with just you and me, so you have some time to like,
I like that.
figure out what you're feeling, what you want to say, and how you want to say it, instead of just kind of throwing you to the lions and just having you guys duke it out.
Yeah, yeah. No, I like that idea. I like, yeah, I would definitely like that because, I mean, yeah, I mean, just for your sake, like, I would definitely take a moment and eat a good breakfast before that therapy session because my
You
God.
will, yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, yeah, man. Well, so that's pretty much, we can start kind of wrapping it up for today. Do you have any other questions for me before I kind of say the last couple things?
Yeah, I don't think so. Appreciate your time.
Okay.
Glad
Yeah,
we
of course.
did that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, Sam, like I said, like, I appreciate you sharing all this with me. I know it can be very heavy, so I usually recommend, after therapy or after counseling sessions, you take some time just for yourself to kind of like decompress, instead of going back into whatever environment stresses you out. Because therapy and counseling can kind of shake things up, you know. So give yourself some time to settle, before you go on with your day. But again, like I appreciate you coming in and taking the time. And I am looking forward to talking to you more and understanding a little bit more about your situation. If you have any thoughts, maybe write them down and bring them to the next session. And then there's also like some worksheets I can find for you to send you your way if you want to take a look at them. It's not like homework or anything. It's just kind of like resources for you to take a look at when you if
Yeah.
you want to.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and we'll set up our next appointment if you want to, and then I'll reach out via phone or email and we can get that done.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
Sounds good.
man.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. All right. Let's
Right.
see.
Let's see.
So, all right. Yeah, man, he's
What?
got the he's got the stealing thing going on.
The what thing?
The stealing, the
Oh, yeah, yeah. I threw
I don't
that
know if that was the thing, but
Yeah,
I just don't
it
remember that from last
it
time.
wasn't a clinical thing, but it was a good way of like connecting two things. I was just trying to like figure out what someone in that position would do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
well,
and I think that's like one of the big things with like substance abuse is like
yeah,
stealing from friends and family.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what else is true that I was trying to fit in is that people with substance use, generally speaking, are relatively charismatic. And
Mm.
it's because it's a survival mechanism. Like they need people to trust them so that they can be devious and steal and obtain the drug, you know? So like they
Yeah.
all the people that I work with are like, "Oh, hey Nick, what's up? How's it going? How's school? How's life?" You know, like they know everything about me and it's just because like that's what they know how to do. And they're
It's like
totally
how they
pointing out that like they want me to talk about me instead of them. You know, like they don't want to be on the spotlight.
right. I mean, like for multiple reasons, probably like it's uncomfortable for them, but also like they get to kind of make you feel comfortable,
Yeah. Yeah.
and let your guard down.
Exactly. Exactly. So then
That's
they can
interesting.
like do stuff and I'm like, ah, you would never, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you. I talked to Stacy, my field faculty,
Yeah.
and she was like, "This Dawn Farms is like interested in reviewing my materials." I still haven't decided on whether I'll like look into that or not, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask Stacy if it's like a case management role or if it's like a psychotherapy role.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Yeah,
would you prefer?
a psychotherapy role, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily get into the therapy stuff. I mean, like
Okay.
I have a couple clients.
Yeah.
And I lead groups and all of that. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I think it'd
Yeah,
be
that'd be
like if you're looking to work with substance use patients in a one-to-one setting, like that is the place. It's awesome.
yeah. I just got my first client from my field placement, and it's like not I was asking for like more clinical opportunities, and this person is not an athlete or a high schooler. And
Uh,
I was like, damn, I was like, this is sick. Like I had my first intake with them last week and like it went really well. And I'm like, this is like,
this is what you want. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like that was pretty cool. But at the same time, it's like now that I have a client, I don't want to like leave them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I'll talk to Eiler about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm also not gonna make my hours this semester. There's like no
Oh,
shot.
yeah. That's right.
Do you know if they like roll over? Like, is it like do I just need it like 900 by the time I graduate, or is it like I need, what is it, like 200
That's
this
a good question.
semester?
I don't really know if I think honestly it doesn't roll over. I think you need to get it per semester because you take credits of field.
Yeah.
Each credit is a certain amount of hours. Um,
I
so, but also, I'm definitely not gonna keep this part of the recording. I just write the number of hours that the credits are for the field education agreement and call it
yeah.
Like it asks like how many hours have you done this semester? I mean, maybe if you're like, because you're like a lot off, it might be a little
Yeah.
different. But I just haven't kept track, and I'm probably somewhere around 200, and they want 230. I'm like 230.
I'm at like 130. So
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
And the other guy, my field is like at like 70.
Oh man.
Just
Well, at
like,
least you're not
dude.
the only like one, it's not your fault. Two, you're not the only person in that boat. So like you
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
totally
I think
reach
I'm gonna make
out
a
to but the
yeah, I think
person reaching out to is Stacy Peterson.
yeah, I think we wanted to set up a meeting with her and kind of talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna yeah, I might look into that Dawn Farms one. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I think you'd really like it. The one that I work, yeah, you'd one do great there, and two you'd like it. So that's
Oh, I
good.
appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm all right. I am thoroughly burnt out. I am so ready to be done with school.
Yeah.
And I don't normally get that way, so it's kind of frustrating that I'm in that place right
Is it
now.
like classes or like field that's like work for work?
Yeah, it's not field. I would love if I just didn't have to do any more assignments. Really tired of assignments. I'm
Yeah.
tired of being graded. Um,
Yeah.
but I would
Yeah.
also like my jobs to be over.
Yeah.
I just want it all to
Yeah,
be
I mean, hey man, you're in the final stretch right now before you go to
yeah.
the Peace Corps.
Yeah, we're really close. It's literally like when I go to bed a week from today, I will be done with everything except one assignment. So I'm really looking forward to Tuesday night. Like all I need
Yeah.
to do is get to Tuesday night.
Yeah, because I'm looking at my classes for this summer and I'm like, shit, I'm just like in the middle of it.
You're like
I keep
I'm
going.
going right back in.
Yeah, dude. For the weightlifting club, I was like meet director this past weekend for like this annual meet that they put on. And I'm like, holy shit. I was like standing for like 14 hours, like coaching my athletes and also making sure like the gym didn't catch on fire with everybody going through and like it was good, but I slept for like 14 hours after and I'm like
Yeah,
still not recovered.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
But yeah, work. Yeah, man. All right. Well, I think I got your invite for the bonfire, so
Oh
then
yeah,
just
come to
on the
that.
calendar.
Yeah, it's next
Yeah,
Friday.
man.
Not this Friday, but next Friday.
Yeah, I think I should be good for that.
Yeah.
But
You did a really good job today too. I
oh yeah.
didn't feel like deep feedback. But yeah, I mean, I
Okay.
felt comfortable. I felt comfortable opening up naturally. Like that's how I knew you were doing a good job is because I was like, wow, if I were a real human doing a real thing, I would feel okay opening up about.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
Um, so I was like, okay, well, what would this guy open up about? And I just like went
Yeah.
down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for the
Yeah.
feedback.
Um,
I think the one-on-one stuff is always so